Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while. I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday. I know it was a good time here at Ferko Family Farm. Stayed pretty busy and unfortunately weren't able to get a lot on film, but I figured I'd take you guys along with me today as I knock out some things here around the farm. First thing I gotta do this morning is just check on the wood stove. I'm gonna put a little bit of wood in there. It's a pretty mild day. It's been pretty mild the last few days, so we haven't had to burn through a lot of wood, which is a good thing. And so I'll just go ahead and stir that up and get that taken care of. I'll get down and just double check on the animals, make sure their food and water is all good. And then we'll get started on the first project of the day. So the wood's good. Now I'm gonna go down and just check on the animals, make sure we're good there and all their food and water's good. So one thing I did here in the chicken coop is I added another roosting post up here higher in the air because the chickens were pooping a lot in the nesting boxes and the eggs were getting all covered and getting nasty. So I did read that since the roost posts were at the same height as the nesting box, they were going to use the nesting boxes. So I put one higher, and since doing so, it seems to have done the trick, and they don't poop in the nesting boxes nearly as much as they used to. This is what it looks like now in here. You can see I got this higher roost post. This is coming out. I'm going to eventually do one on this side too, probably up here on the other side. But for right now at least, we've got a roost post up here, the nest box down, and then I got a roost post right in front of the nest box. But this was just basically to deter them from pooping in the nest box. Hey, good morning, Daddy Duck. You hungry? Let me get you some corn. Let's get some corn for you, all right, buddy? All right, let's go. There you go. Alright, looks like their water's a little low, so go ahead and get that filled up now. we go. This automated door has been doing wonders for us. It's been awesome. Opens up every morning for them and every evening. We have it set on. Right now, I believe the evening hours is about 5:30, and the morning hours, I think I have it set for 7 a.m. But either way, we've been keeping an eye on it, and it's been a good timing for the chickens going in and out. They all tend to go in at night, so none of them have been trapped outside, and it's opening up nice and early for them to come out in the morning. So no issues with this. Everything is still running fantastic. I still may eventually bundle up some of these wires that are out here, but it's going good. Jerry spent a little bit of time adding a little bit of logs and obstacles here in the chicken runs. Gives them something to do and allows them to climb and roost and stuff out here in the runs. Jerry likes to keep it changed up, likes to keep it fresh for them and give the chickens plenty to do. And some might say our chickens are spoiled here at Ferko Family Farm, but we enjoy it. They produce eggs for us, and we just like to make sure that they're happy and healthy at all times. We talked about eventually adding the runs out here farther over here. I do have plans to build a duck pond right behind the coop here, behind the runs, but we might expand out there. Out here in front of the chickens in this field is where we're gonna have the meat birds like we did last year. I think this year we're gonna put up just a big fenced in area with some more premier fencing. That way we don't have to move it every time we run out of field areas. That's our plans now. That'll eventually come on here down the road. I'm gonna head up and check the pigs, make sure their food and water is good to go now that the chickens are all happy. And Mr. Duck here, over here on the side of the chicken coop, is where I want to do the duck pond. I got to get a couple of these trees cut out here, these 3 trees, maybe some more, and we're going to bowl this out right here. Right here where the trench goes across the driveway, the culvert, I'm going to probably put a spillage pipe in there, bring it up a little bit higher. We'll see if maybe in the winter months or something that this might fill up a little bit. Ideally, I'd like to get a nice little duck pond in here and do a little bit of landscaping around it, tie it in real nice. Chicken's been hitting up the compost pile pretty good, keeping it turned for me. I'll put it back into a big pile, then they'll come back out here and roost, or they'll come back in here and scrape it all back up and dig through it, so keeps it turning constantly, which is a good thing. Oh, they're not in the barn. What's up, piggies? Usually they're sleeping in quite a long time here in the mornings. The water barrel's doing good here for the pigs. I may eventually, once these pigs are off and slaughtered and out of here, I may end up getting another 1 or 2 more nipples added to this for the next batch of pigs this spring. Right now it seems to be doing a trick and holding up all right. So I've been calculating to kind of figure out how much it's been costing us to raise these pigs. We have 4 pigs right now. They're all about, I want to say they're 36 weeks old right now. It might be a little off, give or take. They're born back in March and April time frame. So right now they're going through roughly 42 to 43 pounds of food a day. The bags that I get are 50-pound bags, so almost a bag a day that they're going through between the 3 of them. I'm also trying to find a substitute to add in to bring that cost down. Right now we're averaging roughly around 41 cents a pound for feed. If I can get that down to about 10 cents a pound, then we can really start making pretty decent money off these. But right now at 41 cents a pound, it's not very good. But this first year was more of a baseline, so we're just trying to get the feel of it, get the process, figuring out the feed and the upkeep and everything for the pigs themselves. Now that we have a better idea, I think we can adjust things this spring and really make the profits go up. I think I have a scrap bucket with some stuff I can get the pigs. So I'm gonna run and grab that real quick and we'll dump these scraps out for the pigs. Got a bunch of eggs and old bananas, apple. Here you go. So what's nice about scraps when you're cooking dinner or making meals, we just throw it into the compost bucket, and whatever we can give to the pigs, we give to the pigs. If it doesn't get eaten by the pigs or the chickens, it goes out into the compost pile. So it's a good cycle out here. Get this water barrel filled up here. While we wait on the water to get filled, I gotta get this door off here. We have the pig stall door that I'm eventually gonna rebuild, but right now this old flimsy door is up here and it's been kind of wedged in with a T-post. The pigs knock that T-post over like 20 times a day. We gotta fix it, and the reason why we do that is because there's been times we've come out here and the door between the wind or the pigs will be closed, and there might be a pig or a couple pigs inside the stall, so they get locked in. So I'm just gonna take this thing off the hinges, get it out of the way so we no longer have to worry about propping it open with this T-post. And then I'll eventually get around to building a new one that'll open up the opposite way when I redo the whole pig paddocks back here later this winter or spring. So let me get that door off real quick. Let's get this out. Just set that here for now. Get out of here. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna have to take this hoodie off. It's getting warm out here. I think it's like in the mid 50s, but moving around and doing stuff. Burning up. There we go. Much better. You may be wondering why we have a big old pile of trash out here in the pasture by the pigs. I kind of hit on it in a previous video or two, but a lot of this was buried in the ground into a big mud, basically a big dirt hill that was inside the pig pen. As the pigs rooted up and get it all loosened up and taken care of, we just take it out and throw that into this big pile here. So once we get the pig paddock pretty much cleared out, we just have to get the rest of that pile out. Once we get that out, this pile here, we'll go ahead and get a dumpster and get all this thrown in with some other stuff around the property that needs to be thrown in. But for right now, we're just consolidating it all into one big trash pile. And then once the paddock is actually cleaned out, we'll go ahead and get it all taken care of and brought to the dump. So we measured the pigs yesterday to try to get their approximate weight. In order to do that, we take a soft tape measure. We measure from the base of their neck to the base of their tail to get their length. And then we measure around right behind their front legs, around their body, to kind of get their circumference of their body. Then you measure that circumference by itself, multiply by the length, and then you divide all that by 400. And that's supposed to give you the approximate weight for these. Now, it's not exactly precise, but it's about as close as we can get without actually having some sort of large scale for them to stand on. So we just get their body measurements and keep track of their growth and make sure the food that we're giving them is at least 16 to 22% protein to try to pack on the weight. The quicker they put on weight, the better. The more return you get from meat. But hopefully we'll get them in to the slaughterhouse here in the next month or two. I'm on a wait list for January, February. Not sure if we're gonna be able to get in. I hope so. I would like to get them out of here. Our goal was to have them out by November, December, but our local butcher is kind of booked out pretty far. So we got put on the wait list for January, February, and then I have an appointment next year for 4 more pigs. So this spring we're gonna get 6 to 10 more, and by next November we'll be able to get those into the slaughterhouse. So we won't have to wait over the winter months. And because the bigger they get, as they start getting into this bigger size, they're eating a lot more, so it's gonna start costing more money. It's ideal to get them right to that harvesting weight, around that 220 to 250 range, and then get them into the slaughterhouse, so that way you're not spending a lot of money feeding them over the course of more months. Couple eyesores up here at the barn that I'm just trying to dress up a little bit today is the fascia. I want to get this fascia put on this board that we've done across this side. I want to get it on the other side. There's just a little bit of work that needs to be done on this end, because when they built this barn and this overhang here, They didn't quite mount it right. And they have this 2x4 that's up there. That's mounted too high. And this board here, there was never a 4x4 post. I put this post here temporarily, just wedged up in here so that we can get it mounted. But you'll notice it's just a little piece of 2x4 that was nailed in there that they had this whole header board resting on. So I'm going to try to get that cleaned up, taken out. I'm going to try to get this 4x4 mounted in here. I'll probably bolt it up against the barn. I have a block that I can put underneath it. It's not going to be buried in the ground. I don't have a long enough 4x4. And I'm not too worried about it because this has been like this for years. So I'm just going to try to patch it up a little bit, make do with what we have, and then see if I can't get a fascia board put on here to try to dress this all up. So that's kind of the game plan right now. I'm going to try to see what I can make do here. All right, first thing I want to do is let me get this 4x4 out of the way for now. I need to support these boards here. If I get something to support these boards up so I can get this little piece of 2x4 out, and then we'll get the 4x4 pushed in and hopefully get it all mounted that way. There we go. And let's do one on this side. There. That way when we take the weight off of that, this whole thing doesn't just sink down and bust. All right, so that's what we got done so far today. I'm gonna have to pick back up on another day, probably on the next video. I got the fascia board up there as best I can. Again, this corner over here is a little funny. This whole side would have to be redone, so I'm just gonna make do with what's there. I'm gonna put a little bit of flashing or something back there just to fill that gap in that little corner up there. But other than that, the drip edge is all the way across the flash, or the fascia out front. So that's finished up. We have the 4x4 mounted right there. So there was nothing mounted there for support on that ceiling for that overhang. Well, we got rid of the old 2x4 that was in there. It was all rotted and falling apart. Got rid of all them nails in there, put that 4x4 in there with a block dug into the ground, and anchored it to the side of the barn with some 6-inch lags, 3/8 inch lags. We got that anchored inside of the barn, and there, it's good. All right, so the next thing I want to do out here is I want to get some 4x4 cross braces to go from the 4x4 posts, both on the right side, in the middle, and over on that side where the existing stall or the storage barn is. Get some cross angle braces in there, and then we're gonna put the siding, this plywood siding that we have on out here, match it to the existing stuff out here, and then we're gonna frame that all in so it just looks nice. It's still gonna be, I'm not gonna do anything with the bays themselves. They're gonna stay open. I'm just gonna finish off the front so the front's all finished looking, and then we just need to get that door done up there on the top for the hayloft, and then we'll be able to pressure wash and clean this barn and maybe get a fresh coat of paint on it sometime. Probably not this winter, it'll be too cold, but maybe come up the spring, we'll get this all cleaned up and tie it all in. While I have the shovel up here, I figured I would just dig out this door pits about halfway, and I'm getting tired of that, so I'm just gonna grab that shovel and clean that doorway out, and hopefully we can get that door to open all the way. All right, just like that. You got it all dug out. Door opens nice and smooth now. All right, guys, that's the end of today's video. If you like this content and you like our videos here at Ferko Family Farm, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and give this video a like, and comment down below in the comments what you would like to see us do here on the farm. Hopefully we get another video out here to you soon. All right, guys. Until next one, we'll see you later. Take care.